So 20 years ago today changed my life forever. I would not be on the camera right now speaking to you guys. I would not have met my wife. I would not have my kids. My whole life would have been completely different if I had not came to Daytona 20 years ago. Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you this story. So welcome back to the channel. I'm Jermaine. I want to share with you a story today that changed my entire life. Growing up, I played football. Went to college, played football, and I even got to play a little bit of football on certain teams after college. Like not nothing major, but little leagues here and there that paid nothing. I finally got my big break, and I remember I'm thinking in my head and telling my parents, I'm telling everybody, I'm going to be in the NFL. I'm going to be in the NFL. I got cut. First cut. So I remember I was walking into the coach's office, and the coach told me, well, son, I got some bad news for you. You're not going to like what you're going to hear. But unlike a lot of people on this team, you actually have a shot to do so many other things outside of football. You have the brains, you have the ability. You have brought this team together in so many different ways, and everybody on this team loves you. You have that it factor. It's just not football. It's just not football. So I'm going to have to let you go. When he said that, I mean, my heart just, I don't know, it just dropped. It just fell out of my chest. Like I felt like the one opportunity, because going into training camp, I remember telling my whole family, telling everybody, like, I'm going to make the NFL. I'm going to make it. And I worked so hard. Like every drill, I gave 100%. I was an hour before every meeting. I was there. I was already in the chair. I had my notebook. I had everything. I was ready. I took it serious. Like I'm thinking in my head, like this is about to be my new profession. So why not take it serious? But no, I got cut. So after that, I remember clearing out my locker, going to my car. I went to the dollar store. I got a couple gallons of water. I had like $300, $350, whatever, to my name. And I just drove. Something in my head told me to just drive and just keep driving. So I drove south. And it wasn't until I got to around the Carolinas where I started to think, like, what am I going to do? Where am I going? What am I going to eat for food? So I had the bright idea, like, okay, I'll just go get one of those hot and ready Little Caesars pizzas. I don't even know if they still have them. They used to be $5 at the time. I'll go get a cheese pizza, and I could survive on that for a couple days, and that'll be fine. Sleep in my car or get a hotel, a little cheap hotel somewhere. I'll be fine. So I drove, and I made it to Daytona. This was my very first time ever coming to Florida, and Daytona just happened to be the stop. And I think the reason why I stopped at Daytona is because I remember back in the day, MTV, the spring break, hearing about Daytona, and I don't know, maybe it just triggered something like, okay, this seems like a good place to stop. I don't know. But I'm driving through Daytona, and it was some nice music that was filling my car, along with the smell that was even better. And it smelled so great. And I was hungry. My stomach was growling. I've already drove about 18, 19 hours. Stomach growling, so I pull over, stop at this restaurant. And I remember the restaurant, it was a valet service. So I'm like, oh, Lord, this is going to be something expensive. Like, I already know it's about to be something expensive. So give them my keys. And I remember I walk in, and I immediately can tell, like, I should not be in here eating. I can't afford this. I have $300, $400 max to my name. What are you doing? But it is what it is. I sat down at the table, and I ordered, and boy, did I order. I ordered some of the most expensive stuff on the menu. And my drinks, the amount of drinks I ordered cost more than the food. And I remember that waitress, when she came at the end and brought me my bill, I remember I just, like, my heart dropped. I'm like, I'm not going to have, this is all my money. I'm not going to have nothing to fill the tank. I'm stuck in Daytona. I'm going to have to live in Daytona, get a job in Daytona. Like, I'm not going to be able to go home. So I remember walking to the bathroom, and I went in the bathroom, I looked in the mirror, and I broke down crying. The worst thoughts came to my head. Just some of the worst things ever I was thinking at the time, man. it's sad that I even had those thoughts looking back, but when you're down and out on your luck, sometimes you just have those intrusive thoughts. And I even remember telling myself, like, you know what? You're fast. You can just run out of here. Just run, and when you get the money, just send it back. Like, just pay them back next month or whenever you get the money. Just send it. Just send an envelope or something. Or drive back down there and give them the money. But you can't afford this right now. Just leave. Now, again, valet had my keys, so I don't know what I was thinking, but I was down and I was intoxicated. So a little bit of both. Saner heads prevailed because I'm like, no, I can't do that. My dad raised me better. My mom raised me better. I'm not built that way. I did the crime, you know. So now let me go do what I got to do. Let me go pay this, and it is what it is. So I went back, sat down at the table, and right when I sat down at the table, I remember it was a older white gentleman. Now at this time, I'm in my early 20s. And it was a man, he was in his late 50s, an older, tall, white man in his late 50s, sat down at the table and who just sat down. Like he had to see my face was just looking all a mess. But he just sat down and he was like, hey, you mind if we talk? And I said, hey, whatever, free country or something like that. And he said, are you having a bad day, bad week, bad month, or a bad year? And I remember looking at him like, what? Who says that? So I don't know, a week, month, probably a year. I don't know. It's just bad. He's like, well, would you like to hear about a bad decade? I said, what? Who is this guy? So I was like, yeah, sure. And he told me. He told me about a long stretch of his life, some things that made my problems look like absolutely nothing. And he also told me at the end of that, when you actually get to see everybody's problems, and if we could see everybody's problems on a plate and it looked like food, you'll want to eat your own. The problem is we all think that our plates are the most full, and that is where the issue is. And that's why we all think in our heads that we're going through more than anybody else, when really everybody is going through everything. And you got to be happy with the problems you got, because the person next to you that's not even showing any signs of it likely has more than you. And I did not even, at that time, I'm young and I'm dumb. I didn't even think clear. Like, I didn't understand that. But he went through everything and he started talking to me, and he took my heat level. Like, I was on 10. He took me down to at least 4, calmed me down. At the end, he got up, pulled out his wallet, took some cash out, put it on the table. It was enough to pay for my meal, and it was enough for me to get home if I wanted and get a hotel. And then he took a business card, wrote on the card his name and his number, and he said, if you want to learn more, give me a call. No pressure, give me a call. I was like, what? Who is this guy? And as he was walking away, he came back and told me, and I think the waitress got a thing for him, pulled out $100 bill, put it on the table. He was like, take her out, on me. Go ask her to go out tonight. I think she likes you, on me. I was blown away. And one of the first thoughts that came to my mind was, I want to be like that one day. I want to be able to find somebody that looks like they're down and completely just change them, like just their whole vibe, just like that. I want to do that for somebody. That's the first thought that came to my head almost immediately. The second thing was, oh, I am going to call this guy. I'm like, this, like, I don't know who he is. And I'm like, but he changed me. Like, he changed me that quick. So I never took the waitress out. I didn't do that because I'm like, that's $100. I could go use that for something else. So I remember when I got back home, I drove back up north, got back home. I remember I gave him a call and we had a great conversation. We talked from that day forward for the next decade of my life. Me and him had a conversation, and he helped completely change a lot of things that was, I'm not going to say wrong in my life, but I was misguided. He helped give me some type of structure. So that was 20 years ago today. As you see, I live in Florida now. I've been living in Florida for quite a while now. And some of that reason is because of me getting cut from that football team, me coming to Daytona, and me meeting my very first mentor, who completely changed the way that I viewed a lot of things. So yeah, I just thought I have to share that story on my 20-year anniversary, and I'm in Daytona right now. So I'm in Daytona right now. I love Daytona. Uh, it's always gonna have a special place for me in my heart. It always will. This is the city that showed me that you can have a part two of your life. You can have a part two. You can become something different. You can do other things. Even if you thought that you were scheduled to do this, if it's not for you, that's okay. Go on to that. You know what I'm saying? You're not a tree. So we're not trees. We can move places. We could do things. We can go places. We can change things up. We're not a tree. Well, that was some of my story. It's in my book, Discipline. So if you didn't get a copy, go get yourself a copy. I'll leave it in the description. That story's in there with more details than even what I just shared right here, along with so many other stories and so many other lessons that I've learned from multiple mentors along the way, including my father. That's going to really touch you, and it's going to help you as well. Some things that I've learned. This is my life story pretty much in this book right here. So thank you guys for watching. And again, I really hope that just helps someone out there. And, life, we got to just keep on living, right? So thank you again for watching and being a part of my 20-year Daytona anniversary. Well, until the next video, God bless.